A media and defense company. It's called MS Media and Defense. MS Media and Defense. It's an initial of my name, Meshak Shabanji, Media and Defense. So I do corporate MC. What I'm doing right now, this is business.
I'm going to share my story today. Is that better? Yes. Yeah. So of how I started my very small business, and at least I'm making something out of it right now. First, in the year 2012, I was looking for a job. I bumped into some human resource management job, and then I was working there as a HR manager. I was only HR assistant. Sorry, I was only 21 years old. So according to me, okay, I know some of you say that that is old enough, but according to me, I was young. So I was under this management of, I'm sorry to say, but Asians, and it was not very easy for me because they used to put me in that kind of situation where they tell you to do something, and even if it's wrong, they force you to do it, but then you have to do it because they are on top of you. So at some point, I got really stressed out, and I decided to quit this job. So I worked here for like around 8 months, and then I decided to quit. So when I quit, it was around September, and I had some savings that I had, and I decided, okay, now let me go back to school. So my parents are not that well off, but then I said to myself, I'm going to make this happen for me. So I enrolled in the University of Nairobi for my Bachelor of Commerce, and this savings that I had is what I used to enroll, and then my dad had taken some small loan for around 50K and he gave me, and then I went into school. So during my school, okay, I really love shoes, yeah? So when I was here in school, people used to tell me, okay, in particular rubber shoes. So someone would tell you, I want shoes like yours, can you get me? I want something that you have, can you get me? So what I used to do was like, okay, so I'm really doing nothing here, and let me just see, and let me just try this and see how it goes. So I used to go to the market in Kikomba very early in the morning, around 7. I was there, and I don't know how many of you have been to Kikomba.
My name is Happiness Odawa. So my name is Happiness Odawa. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. Okay, I was a 7-year student at Multimedia University of Kenya. Once a deputy president of all the high school students in the country, and a KESH, that is the Kenya Secondary Schools Heads Association. Yeah, basically someone related to UNICEF. And I'll give more as we proceed. And today I'm here to speak about women empowerment. And I thank God for the ladies in here. And I remember my co-MC yesterday saying that an event is not an event without ladies present, because they are colorful, they are beautiful, and their presence is just warming. Let's just appreciate our ladies in the house. So I'll just get straight to the point with my topic of women empowerment. And as I begin, I will begin by defining a woman, the acronym for woman. You can just list woman as it goes down, the W, the O, the M, the A, and the N. So W in a woman stands for wise. A lady is always wise, and I bring this in the biblical concept. I believe most of us, if not all, are Christians. Pardon me for the Muslims. But I'll bring it to your perspective. You remember in the Garden of Eden, Eve was able to trick Adam into eating the forbidden fruit, despite the fact that God had commanded them to eat from all the trees except the one at the middle. But Eve had her own way to bring Adam into eating the fruit, and consequences were there. That is just the biblical part of it. But I feel that a home that is built by a woman is definitely going to stand. And when I say built by a woman, I don't like literally mean kujenga nyumba I mean the wisdom part of it, the bringing the children up, the advising the husband, putting funds into good use, and that is why we say a woman is definitely wise. And bringing me to all, a woman is an organizer. Some homes, if not all, we have domestic workers, the house helps, the shaman guys and all. But mostly, even the house help that we have at home, it's very rare to find the husband, or rather the man of the house, taking commands, like giving orders to the house girl, telling the house girl, I need you to wash the dishes, to like cook for the kids, prepare the kids to school. It's the lady who does this. The lady knows, when I leave, this is what you're going to have for lunch, for supper, my kids need to be up at this time. And so basically, this just makes us, like the women, to become organizers. And brings me to a woman is a manager. When our fiancés, our husbands, and our boyfriends come home, they can come with ingredients. And what do we bring to the table? A meal. I mean, we'll go to the kitchen and prepare a meal. When this guy gives you a seed, you will give him a baby. I mean, we know how to organize the little and small funds we have. And even in homes where women do not work, they will definitely know how the family is going to eat. They're too small to chamas, they're too small to circles, 150 per week, like a 50 bob per day. We just have a way to know, I need to put my family on feet. And unlike men, we can multitask. We can think.
My name is Abdurrahman, from Somalia. Work for a youth organization called Somali Empowerment Program. And I've been involved in youth activities for the past 5 years with SOI, Somali Empowerment Program, SOI organization. And before just going to SOI activities in Somalia, I'm going to give you a quick introduction about me and how I have started this journey. I was born in Somalia, in Mogadishu, Somalia. I think you all know that the capital of Somalia is Mogadishu. I was educated and raised in Mogadishu, where I took my primary and secondary and even university education. Yeah. Throughout my education, while I was studying one of the universities in Somalia, doing telecommunication engineering, one of my friends just came to me and just requested me to join a youth organization, this youth organization that they were establishing or they were founding. At that time I was active in participating and involving with youth activities, and I was part of the students' union at the university. I was secretary of the union once. Then when they were just convincing me to join this organization, I told them to just give me some time to think about this, involving these activities. As you all know that when it comes to involvement of youth activities in Somalia, it's a little bit tough because there is a lot of militant groups who are targeted young people, indoctrinated and brainwashed with false religious interpretation, Islamic, false Islamic religious interpretation. You know, I thought about the idea of involving youth activities and being part of the organization. Then
I'd like to thank you so much for this opportunity. And I'd like to also thank Nelson for the lovely presentation that you just gave, which actually has really beat the meat for me. It has really made the meat lean for what I'm going to talk about today. As you've heard, my name is Graham Munde. I am currently a student at the University of Nairobi, pursuing Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Political Science. Maybe just a brief history of how I started. By the time I was joining university, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Even when choosing the courses, I still didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do. And so, by choosing the Bachelor of Arts in Economics, I was just following. Let me just say I was just working by faith. And so, of course, joining university, that's when adulthood starts kicking in. When you're given your pocket money, I used to be given $1,000 a week. That didn't used to sustain me at all. And so I had to think of how to earn my money. And so, of course, when you stay around people, basically the idea that comes to mind is look for a part-time job. And so that's what I did. In 2015, I got a job in Jumbo Pay. I was an activator for their product, EGG. And basically my work was to walk around town, help people activate help people pay for parking using their phones, help people pay for rent, house rents using their phones. And by the end of the day, I used to be paid 500 shillings. And so it was little money, yes, but then it was better than nothing. And so I decided, let me just stay here. And after a while, after working there, after being sent into the field, and after a bad experience whereby I was in the field in Makadara, and one person comes and wants to pay for his house rent, and since the systems were hanging, and since he had topped up his wallet, he decides to say that you've stolen his money. And to make the matter worse, I think he was high, and so he was like, do you know I work in City Mortuary and I will kill you because of stealing? And that was it for me. That was it for me. And they said, to hell with employment. To hell with employment. And they said,
this foundation Kenya. After 6 months, I realized I'm not more of an environment person. Though I planted some trees. Yeah, I did plant. I did clean the streets. I cleaned a lot of streets. I even went to Malina. I wish I showed you when I was cleaning the Indian Ocean. But I was not that person, so I decided to give this organization to Berlin, what we call fighting corruption. Why did I begin this? As I applied for grants during environment, somebody blocked the grants and ate the money. You can imagine. So I felt bitter, and so I decided now I must fight corruption in this country. It's a big problem, and that corruption is a state of mind in some instances. Sometimes, I don't want to talk about my book now. So I decided that I'm going to find corruption, but in a unique way. So what was I going to do? I was not going to fight corruption by fighting the government. I'm going to fight corruption by looking at the roots of it. So I decided to educate people about corruption and how it's bad. That's why I began forming integrity clubs in schools. Okay? So in these integrity clubs, what I was doing is to educate these children. John Dewey, right? Education is not a preparation to life, it's life itself. So pick and follow your passion, but be an expert in your area. Be an expert in your area as even you follow your passion. Because I was giving an example of how many university students graduate each year. And all of them, they come to Nairobi. You want to look for the same job you are looking at. So what will make you stand out is for you to becoming an expert in your area. Let me tell you, me, I really look for a job. You know what I do? I look at an organization and I look at the problem this organization is having. And I tell them, I send them an email, you see, I know the answer to your problem. I think you should let me come in and assist. You should let me volunteer. And whenever I go to an organization and give them an idea, they will think this person is very creative, let us not do this person. So I'm going to go through the interview. And you will come with the interview with your papers. Me, I just went there with my idea. And then I wanted a job. But I went there with my idea because I looked at this organization and said, how can I get there? So I looked at Amref Africa and I told them, you know, I'm a consultant. And I'm saying you are doing SHR, human rights advocacy on sexual and reproductive health. How can I make sure that you are reaching the exact people? So I went there and I told them, you see, this is what I'm doing. I can accelerate this program. And they said, sure. What's your capacity? Say, I'm good, I can do this. How many people do you have? I have people. I don't tell them how many people do you have. I have people. Do you have an office? Don't worry. Don't worry. So they told me I need you to come with 20 people. And those people must have computers. So I looked for young people. I hired for them laptops. And when they said, now this one is ready for the job, I read my terms of reference and began my consultants. Now consultants.